But still on Meghan and Harry, and the satirical cartoons, well, they just don't miss when it comes to the Sussexes. We'll never forget this particular South Park moment.
We want privacy!
Hey, thanks for having us on the show.
It's so awesome to be here. It's great.
So let me start with you, Sam. You've lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book, Where? Yes, that's right, friend. You see, my wife and I
I'm totally like, you should write a book because your family's like stupid and then so are like journalists.
So you hate journalists. That's right. And now you wrote a book that reports on the lives of the royal family. Right.
It never gets old. And the Family Guy has also had a go.
Sir, your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post for Del Taco.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
Well, it's been reported that the Family Guy has had another pass at the Sussexes. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the footage for you yet. We couldn't get that for you, but Pandora, no doubt it's withering.
Yeah, so as again, they are the butt of the joke. This is what happens when you leave that security of the royal family and you start mocking them. They will start hitting back, and that's exactly what has happened here. There is a clip which essentially shows history and how history pretty much sucks. Then it pans to a cartoon of Harry getting defensive on camera, and we have all seen Harry being defensive, and in some cases rightly so, in some cases, well, that is very much the viewer's opinion there. But this is what happens when you leave the royal family, and it's something that Harry and Meghan will have to get used to, is opinion pieces on them and what they are doing day to day. They have left that security net essentially, and for reasons which I can understand to a certain extent, but they will have to get used to humour, and they may not agree with it, but that is what happens. And I imagine this will be one of many follow-ups in years to come. But a personal favourite of mine was the Worldwide Privacy Tour. I think that really did hit the nail on the head, and I think we can all sort of see how that would metaphorically look.
Well, they keep providing content for the cartoons, so I imagine the cartoonists will keep up with the satire. And Louise, onto a slightly different topic, and this week, you know, those royal family peace talks, they still seem to be going on. They're still reporting about it. Who's in the talks? Who isn't? What's the update?
Well, the more I read about this, Caro, the more I think they're not peace talks, they're panic talks. Now, the mere fact that we had King Charles's communications people and Harry and Meghan's communications people there, it's more like a reputation triage going on, because the key person was missing, and that is William, the future king, who we believe wasn't even told about the talks and would be very cautious about being a part of them as well. So if they're genuine about a reconciliation, they both need to say sorry. Harry needs to say sorry, Meghan needs to say sorry, and they need to do it away from the cameras, and they need to be genuine about it. Now, clearly, Charles has a soft spot for his son, but Harry's only chance at redemption now is while his father is still on the throne. And many experts in Britain are making this very point, that once it's William's turn to be king, Harry will be pushed to the side, because what's in it for William to, you know, reconcile with his brother after so much bad blood and so much water under the bridge?
I think there's going to be more water too, absolutely. But the reputation triage, I think that there's a divine way of putting it. Onto something slightly better news. In Pandora, it was Queen's birthday this week. How did she celebrate? How was she recognised?
Yeah, so the Queen's birthday, and she doesn't stop, it has to be said. And doesn't she look amazing for 78? And no, I'm not paid to say that. Many people think when you report on the royals, you sort of give them lots of positive coverage. But look, we got this beautiful new portrait of her. And of course, she was wearing a dress which very much notes to nature, with all of their environmental work that they do and patronages. So that was no surprise there, that little indication. And of course, this was taken in Wiltshire at Raymill. Now, we do know that that is her sanctuary, essentially. She goes there when she just needs to switch off, spend time with her grandchildren, spend time with her children, and just get away from the buzz of royal life and London. So that's what she did this year. There was no sort of big party, as it were. But the day before, actually, well, she got a very special gift indeed. She got made the H.M. Astute Vice Admiral for the United Kingdom. And that was a gift from the King himself. And what else do you get a queen when she pretty much has everything? And actually, alongside this, when she was actually at Plymouth, she got a roll of cling film, which was very funny, got lots of reaction online. But of course, this notes back to the history of when they tried to fix a boat's engine with some cling film. And actually, she looked very thrilled with it. And I'm sure she'll make lots of sandwiches off the back of it with her grandchildren for picnics in the summer. But no, it was a very chilled day for her. And there was also a new portrait release, which is on their Instagram, which you can go check out.
What a great yarn. Louise, something very novel this week, and a portrait of the King has been painted by Aida, right? The world's first ultra-realistic robot artist. How did that all pan out?
Well, I see this as more of a tech play. It's called the Algorithm King, and as you say, this robot who has quite the footprint, I think, in the arts. Apparently it's worked with Baz Luhrmann, of course, is a very celebrated and successful film director. Apparently it's done a TED Talk as well, you know, tick that off in the LinkedIn box, I guess. But the portrait of Charles is... Again, it's a tech impression. It's not meant to be a real impression, I think, of him. There's some sort of green splodges which are meant to speak to his environmental enthusiasm. But what's missing, of course, is that wonderful twinkle in Charles's eye and that sort of wry expression that we know him for, and I love to see when he's sort of talking with people, that sort of wonderful wry look that crosses his face. So, you know, I don't think we're going to be having robots taking over from the royal portraits anytime soon. And oh goodness, that's a good thing in my book.
I think it makes for a great yarn, but I agree that that very human part of the portrait is usually the most endearing. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me this evening.